Welcome to my channel. I'm Sally Knopp, and I'm going to talk to you today about hacking the law of attraction. We're going to call this Ignite. This is the first 4 chapters review of this great book. If you've not got it, I highly recommend that you do it, especially if the law of attraction you feel is not working for you. There's actually some reasons that can potentially be happening, most of which we've gotten wrong. So for those of you who've done manifesting and said, it's not working, it's okay. Just let's start where you are. This is not rocket science or anything like that. It's actually easier than you think, but most of the time we're just getting in our own way. The difference with Richard Gordon's book is that he outlines a process you can take to walk through why it's not working, identify that, and then move forward with the proper way of making it work. So if you remember, many of us were excited, including myself, about the book The Secret. And when it first hit the shelves, I was one of the first people out grabbing it and what have you. This inspired many of us to start creating those vision boards and saying the mantras and affirmations. And then sometimes they work, sometimes they don't work. And oftentimes we just get frustrated. Or you get to the point where, why isn't the law of attraction working for me? Well, here's the thing. The law of attraction is always working for you and everybody around you. Now, you might say, well, why is my life a train wreck? It's obviously not working. Well, that's the law of attraction. It's the law of attraction. It doesn't matter if it's positive or negative. It is what it is. So you have to become mindful of what is the information in your mind. What are your thoughts? What are you thinking? Because remember, the law of attraction works like gravity. So gravity works regardless of your belief system, regardless if you think it works or it doesn't work for you, it consistently works for you. The law of attraction is like gravity. It is always there, ever present. Always, no matter what you're doing. So just remember that. So now what is the first thing you need to do? You need to become mindful of what the thoughts are going into your mind. What thoughts are you thinking? Because that thought will evoke an emotion. And that thought and emotion, if it's fearful, will produce a fearful outcome. If it's loving, you're going to produce a loving outcome. So let's go into the good, the bad, and the miraculous. That is sort of the chapter 1, which is absolutely beautiful. Because what Richard Gordon sort of lays out there for you is that even though when you don't believe miracles can happen, and they show up when you least expect it, especially when you can get out of your own way. The universe is like a computer. It's ones and zeros. It is resistance and non-resistance. And like Einstein, which I will sum up badly probably, and you can all correct me, is that he made a statement: you need to choose. The most important decision anybody will ever make is, do I live in a hostile universe or live in a friendly universe? That's the first thing. The next thing is you have to be mindful of the thoughts that you are thinking and what emotions are they evoking with those thoughts. And if the fearful thoughts are evoking fearful emotions, you need to take a deep breath. You need to say, okay, let's restate the thought and start producing a different emotion. So if you can't go from fear to happy, then go from fear to nothing. That's where nothing can be quite beneficial, which usually entails thinking a thought that makes you happy, and you don't want to dwell on the thought that makes you feel crummy. So let's look at what he's saying in the first 3 or 4 chapters here. He talks about how miracles show up when the process is easy. And he's going to show us the process and how to make it easy through this book. And I'm going to overlay that with what I've done with my clients working with this book. So the next part is miracles exist outside of time and space. And most of all, it exists outside of logic. So what he's saying there, when you find yourself, well, that's wonderful. Miracles happen for other people, but it's not for me. Or I have to be realistic because all these other factors cause me to be realistic. Look, we're not trying to say you need to lie to yourself or become Pollyannas with yourself. We're simply saying, yes, you have to consider you have to feed yourself and provide a roof, but you have to also allow for a few moments of your day to allow the magic of who you are to just take a hold and feel it in just small measures of moments. And those small measurements of moments can then turn into several minutes. And those several minutes of thinking and feeling good can turn into longer and longer periods of time. Remember, the past is only a collection of memories. All you have is the present, and all you have in the future is where you project your thoughts and your emotions. And as those thoughts and emotions get more and more attention and intention, they begin to come forward into your reality. What you have to understand, and what the book will teach you to do, is start to understand that a miracle can happen to all of us, to all of you. It is not eluding you. You might be blocking it, but you can't allow it. So the first place you have to be is understand the process is easy instead of adopting the process is difficult. The next thing you have to understand is that it's going to exist out of space and time, and it's going to exist outside of logic. So, and we can talk about that in future videos. I don't want to get bogged down with that part per se yet, but we will. Miracles are also outlandish, and they happen in real life. That's right, even for you. And the first step I have for all my clients is go out there and start dissolving clouds. That means through attention and intention, you get a little cloud in the sky and you command it to dissolve now. Command it gone, command it dissolved now. And this might take a little bit of time. And especially if you're thinking, I'm going to do it, but feeling you're not going to do it, you're going to cancel it out like two waves crashing against each other. But if you can play in your imagination, just as you did when you were a kid, and you say, I'm going to dissolve that cloud, and it's going now. And you feel you're going to dissolve the cloud, watch the miracle and the cloud dissolve. I cannot tell you how many people contact me. I had no idea I could dissolve clouds, which is, it doesn't have to limit to the clouds. What we're saying is that the mind, the thought, the emotion that you marry together, the happy thought, the happy feeling, creates the desire and the manifestation. It will take place. It will collapse the waveform into reality. So keep that in mind. Miracles can happen on top of more miracles. So you might get one miracle and then you begin to have a cascading of miracles. And this is what chapter 3 is all about. And he lays it out beautifully. He doesn't get bogged down with a lot of pages, which is what I love. It's very to the point. He talks about how he's witnessed these things and how these things are something that you are probably witnessing with other people, but you're thinking, but that doesn't happen for me. I've tried. Get out of your own way, because that is a limiting belief. Understanding chapter 4 is getting into hacking the law of attraction, getting into your imagination. What can your imagination actually do for you? Understanding that synchronicity, watching for those, thinking about what your potentialities could be, and enjoying that just by placing that thought in your mind, that you've already set it in the quantum field. And once it's set in the quantum field, you begin to feel the emotion of that thought. Isn't it nice that I have whatever? Isn't it nice and doesn't it feel great that this is for me? That it exists in the quantum field and it's already mine. You are allowing the universe to do what it does, to go through the processes, to begin to bring it forward to you. You need to try to not get into the place of, I tried that for 3 weeks and it's not here. If you do that, that's a limiting belief and you're getting in your own way. But here's the miracle of all miracles. As you begin to raise the emotion of knowing, the knowing of, and the emotion of, I know that if I place my attention and intention on all green lights, and you begin to feel it and you begin to see the results of all green lights as you travel around outside, or as you dissolve clouds, or as you create parking places that are there for you when you want to park close. And as you begin to think and see the results on the small things, you will begin to build the momentum. And as you begin to build the momentum, the shorter the time is from the thought to the creation of the manifestation. It takes practice. It takes time. When I first started dissolving clouds, I stood out there for as long as I could as I watched the cloud go across. And sometimes it didn't happen, but I stuck with it. And because I stuck with it, I can go out there and dissolve clouds at will. I can punch holes in clouds. I can even bring rain when I feel like it's needed. And you can too, if you're thinking about it, if you desire it, if you're not being pulled in 100 different directions. The point is, you can ignite the superhuman in you. You do have it. It's not available to just some people and not you. So get the book, and the challenge becomes read it, read this book by Richard Gordon, Hacking the Law of Attraction, and we can start talking on this channel about each chapter. Maybe you want to ask a question and how we overlay that with remote energy healing and clearing. So one of the things that we do is removing trapped emotional energies. If we can work on removing your heart walls, if you have one, if you have old trapped emotional energies that Dr. Bradley Nelson talks about in the body code, the emotion code, then contact me. Let's start clearing out those energies. And if not, find a practitioner who will help you remove trapped emotional energies. And once you begin to get your energetic field cleansed and healed, your manifestations will start to come into fuller, clearer alignment. Your clarity will happen and so much more. You're not limited. This is limitless, and there's plenty of abundance for everybody. And the beautiful thing is, the universe has more than enough everybody on the planet. And because you have does not mean somebody else has to lack. That's the beauty of this work. So grab the book. Let's get started. Now you know what the first 4 chapters are about. And stay tuned for the next few chapters that we're going to talk about and how that overlays with the remote energy clearing and the results I'm seeing with my clients. I hope you'll stay with me. Please, if you can, hit the like button if you feel called to do that. My little channel is slowly growing, and any subscribers, I welcome you. Thank you for joining me. It's important that we get the message out. Everybody has a superhuman inside of them, and let's all help them to discover that. So for now, I want to thank you for watching, and I will go ahead and end this video for now. Thanks for watching. Bye.